Dylan moving? Is he near you?
Dylan is moving into Vancouver, and it's good because he was having 2-hour commutes in the morning.
Where in Vancouver?
I'm not sure.
Oh,
An address that I'm not familiar with.
you mean you don't
Uh,
even know the neighborhood?
no, it's like a weird southeast corner.
Oh, okay. South Van.
Yeah.
Like, is he by the river? Is he
No, not
river
that.
people
No,
now?
no, he's not a river
Not that.
person.
That's good.
You know, my history, my genetic, what is that called when you go back and what is that? Your family tree, your timeline, your whatever.
That's it.
Um, I go back to 1700s. I guess my great something, multiple great grandfather was a waterman on the Thames River.
No way.
Yeah. My dad
That's cool.
Yeah, my dad worked it all out, and he pulled it out, and it was, like, huge, like, filled up the whole dining room table,
Yeah.
and we tracked it back, and a waterman.
Wow. I
Incredible.
love it. The milk bags of London, the 18th century milk bags.
There's a part of me that wants to spend more time in England. I feel like
Me too.
I'd be liked there. I feel like people would like this more.
Yeah. You're not well liked in Vancouver?
I'm not so sure I'm, unliked. I just think people are, like, not sure.
I mean,
Why is this guy
you are an
talking to me?
acquired taste. My family goes back to the 14th century, rural Scotland.
Always having a one-up.
No. We did nothing. There was nothing good. We got slaughtered.
No, but hang on. What did that history reveal about what they did for
They were just farmers,
peasants?
poor farmers, fishermen, merchants, but not
Yeah.
good, not like wealthy merchants. Like they had a stationery store in a place called Helensburgh,
Stationary, like
selling
were the
paper,
printers and stuff.
just paper and
Okay.
pencils.
When was the first printer made? That would have been the Industrial Revolution, I guess.
Old Gutenberg.
Yeah.
What are we doing now?
Well, I brought up the word peasant, and then it occurred to me, we're peasants.
Yeah.
Like if you think about it, most of the world we're peasants.
And we've been elevated through progressive governmental policy up to the middle class. And then our parents worked so hard to maintain that lifestyle so that we could become a couple jokers.
That's right.
And now, at the first sign of adversity, we're completely fucked.
Yeah.
You should go back to being a waterman.
Well, that'll be the plan, I guess. I'm gonna move to London, a very affordable city. And I will, buy a closet, and then I will get
a closet.
I'm gonna get a long pole, and I'll strap together a couple wooden frames that stack food that gets delivered, and I'll make a boat somehow out of that, and then I'll
Oh, so you'll DoorDash via the waterways of London.
Yeah, it'll take me, several days to get from North London to South London.
Your pizza's gonna be colder, but it'll be fun. And each trip is probably gonna cost like £150.
Yeah. Hey, they got the currency for it, the currency value. You actually have it?
Well, yeah, and I just found it. I had lost it for ages, but I'm moving, so I'm, getting rid of stuff. And here's my mom's on my maternal side.
We didn't plan this, by the way. This just came up, and he somehow has this. The magic of just being.
This one only goes back 300 years. And
only 3. That's so crazy.
1797. He was an excise man.
What's that mean, Yummy?
I don't know.
An excise. It feels like he was a bruiser. He went out and excised people.
It sounds taxi, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like he was a real piece of work. And he was French. This is the Couves. I think they were French. Yeah, it started with a French midget. My family on my maternal side,
Right.
French
That's
midget.
interesting.
So my mom always said, "You guys have little people in your genetic makeup, so watch out."
Well, maybe one of them one day will become an F1 race car driver.
Oh, that's putting a positive spin on it. See, you always go for the positive. You always find it.
Yeah, you got to look for it. There's not much. Actually, there's a lot to be happy about.
That up, boy. I like this
you know,
attitude. Is this
well,
weekend milky?
this is Weekend Milky had a bad Thursday night sleep, no good at all. Friday turned it around with a solid sleep,
Oh, makes such a difference.
and I'm ready to tackle the day. I got to go to some dumb film and TV conference that Dylan thinks we should go to talk to some dumb film and TV people.
About how there's no hope.
And just some dumb conversations that'll amount to maybe something,
Nothing.
you know.
But that's
Maybe.
not positive.
No, but I just want people to know that I'm real.
Oh, you're real, all right. I mean, look at the hair.
Well, this is to inspire F1 designers because my hair's got lots of curls going on here, lots of wavy turns. They released the F1 calendar, and they've got another street circuit in Madrid. Why are they continuing with the street circuits? They are average at best. Like there's like
How does it show up? How does it show up in a race? Does it make it more boring, more dangerous, more what?
I think I would argue, and we'll go get AI to do the statistics for us, but I would argue that probably 65% of the time a street circuit is more boring.
Right. So the problem is that street circuits allow new cities and new money to enter into motorsports, thereby lining the coffers of everyone, F1, FIA. And so they'll say yes to Baku
Mhm.
in a place like Azerbaijan, which is, um, you know, a totalitarian regime run by a corrupt family.
Totalitarian, I don't know what that means.
Authoritarian. How about that?
Okay.
And so you're going to get more and more street circuits, aren't you? Because it's less about your values as an old world British racing fan, and more about new money.
I think you're right. I think they're missing the plot. Is that a term? Is that a phrase?
Yeah.
Because I think like if you want the sport to continue to grow, and it's growing incredibly, but it's also now it's starting to like plateau.
Yeah.
Like they're not getting the same.
No.
Then what that means is you have to have the right tracks with exciting opportunities to pass that push the drivers.
Yeah.
Because like a track like Azerbaijan isn't terrible. Like it's not a terrible track. It's got a long straight. It's got some cool corners where you have to pass and stuff, or sort of like give you a few opportunities to pass. But ultimately, the track is straight, sharp left turn, straight, another left turn, straight, a right turn. Like it's not, it's not like the Circuit of Americas that they purposely built
Yeah.
with elevation changes, and they were inspired by famous tracks
Yes.
around the world. That and then you have drivers having to handle these sections of corners that are super intense, but
And
start
it
to
makes
stop.
for great racing.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Do you have a dangling button off of your shirt? It's reflecting in a weird way. Yeah. Is it coming off?
Yeah.
Well, can you take it off? I can't stop looking at it.
Is there like, do you have OCD?
No, I don't have any letters.
Better?
But I'm
Okay,
I'm friend to all.
look at this. This is an exciting podcast.
So I don't know about Spain though. I mean, why another one in Spain other than money? I didn't do any research. We shouldn't even talk about it.
No, that's exactly what happened. It's money.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's pure money, and they should have. It doesn't matter what anyone says. They need to have heritage tracks. Tracks. That's not a word. Tracks. They need to have it. So like, look at the Canadian Grand Prix. Now, is it the perfect racetrack? I'm going to say no, because it could have a few more challenging corners. Having said that, Nico Rosberg is like Montreal. It's actually incredibly challenging for a race car driver because you have to thread the needle through a lot of these corners because of the curbs. And
And
then,
he
of
would
course,
know.
yeah, and then of course there's a giant, lots of walls to hit. So there's like that, but it also has speed and it also has passing opportunities, right?
Yeah.
So you're like,
Groundhogs.
and it has poor
Groundhogs.
yeah,
Yeah.
groundhogs.
There's plenty more.
I
There's plenty of groundhogs.
so it's a good, but like Azerbaijan, yeah, okay, there's a castle in the background that
There's
you
a
see.
nice castle.
I mean, that's pretty cool, I guess.
Yeah. There's a nice castle. Speaking of Nico Rosberg, he also said that Isaac Hadjar, if he does get called, he should take the call. Not that he doesn't have it, not that he has a choice, but he should go to Red Bull. What do you
Wow.
think about all that
I
situation?
I wouldn't. I don't. Why would anyone want to go in that Red Bull? I don't
I
get it.
know.
I like Isaac Hadjar. I mean, he had that crushing mistake on the formation lap in Australia.
Yeah.
Wept,
He
wept,
wept. He
and
wept. Yeah.
and you're like, okay, maybe, but you know what? Like, he's, I think, what, 19.
Yeah, he's
I I
young.
I would cry, but I mean, I don't cry anymore.
You don't? I cry more than ever.
Nah, I stopped crying.
When did you stop?
It was September 14th, probably 2004. I think it was when I met Christina.
Is that when your heart crusted over?
No, I just gave her all my love,
Oh,
so I couldn't be hurt
so
anymore.
romantic.
Isaac,
Just
Isaac,
Isaac. Just Isaac. Yeah.
Isaac. Well, there's two A's, so
Yeah, but he's French, so neither of us are pronouncing it right. So just pronounce it like Isaac.
he's Algerian too, I think.
Yeah.
He has turned into be. I think he's going to be a great racer. I had low expectations, and he comes in and he's crushing it. He's consistent.
Yeah.
He rebounds if he doesn't quite get it right. He's he's showing Lawson the doormat, as they say.
Did they say that? I'm showing you the doormat?
Yeah, it means get out of here.
Oh. Yeah,
Right.
it doesn't look good for Lawson and his, what we thought was confidence turned out to be just arrogance.
Yeah, I think Jacques Villeneuve called that a while back.
I
I'm
love him.
enjoying Jacques Villeneuve a lot more than I used to.
Oh, I always, but wait, why didn't you used to? Why didn't you used to love Jacques?
There was a while there where I thought he was just being contrarian all the time.
What's wrong with that? That's my whole
Well,
raison d'être.
well, be contrarian with like a solid reason.
Oh,
Like for instance,
that's
he
asking a
came
lot.
out and said that Oscar, with the Lando incident in Montreal, he stated that maybe Oscar wasn't being so nice on the track with Lando at that moment. That's contrarian
Mm,
to what everyone has said,
yeah,
including Lando.
yeah.
So I went back and I watched what he said, and then I watched the "This is how pathetic I am." I rewatched that section. I watched some analysis of that accident,
Yeah, you're a true fan. Don't be so hard on yourself.
and I was like, "How is Oscar? I don't know what Oscar did that would be
Well,
considered malicious."
I didn't see I didn't see what was so confusing when Max rammed into George, but you had most of the broadcasters going, "I don't understand what I've seen." So maybe it's camera angles.
I don't know, but I think like that would be an example of Jacques was doing that a lot in the past.
Oh, too much.
I don't think he does that as much as he used to.
Mm,
And I think it's an interesting take because if he says it, then he gets more publicity, right?
yeah,
So, get those followers on Insta or whatever he's got to use.
yeah.
Um, so like
He
that's
doesn't
interesting.
use
Yeah,
social media.
he does. He's on it.
Really?
Yeah, he shared the time he got locked in an airport bathroom for 7 hours.
No way.
Yeah, it's
I
pretty
thought
funny.
for sure that he'd be like, "I'm not using that shit. I'm too old."
No one could get him out, so he had to break out of the bathroom. He did it all himself.
Wow.
Speaking of pundits and analyzers, Peter Windsor, I like Peter Windsor, but he defends Max like it's his own child.
Does he?
Yeah, go watch what he was saying about about that whole George Russell thing. I'm like, what are you talking about? He was obviously mad and angry and used his car in a way you're not supposed to use your car. Like, it's so stupid. Like, why? What's the debate? What's the confusion?
Yeah, I don't get it.
You know, Joyland, Palmer,
Julian,
Joyland. His analysis. I'm quite enjoying his analysis of
he's smart.
these incidents. He's good.
Yeah, he knows exactly what he's talking about. Him and Alex Jakes, and Ted Kravitz, they got to up the game on the clothes they're wearing, though.
Ted. Oh, Ted is. I
Jesus, they
mean,
look
he's
like a
got
bunch of
kids though.
supply teachers.
He's got
Well,
kids.
so does Alex and Jolyon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. Yeah.
So,
Hey, just because you have kids doesn't mean you can't wear a collared shirt that buttons up.
or unbuttons.
Oh, look at this, man.
Yeah, it's hot here.
Is it?
Oh, yeah, it's hot and muggy again. It's the summer, man. It's the tropics here already.
I'm
God, I
not gonna.
hope it's not going to be like 40 degrees come July.
No, I don't. I don't. That was one of the reasons why I left Toronto.
Oh, I love it. I mean, I love the heat, but normally June is way shittier than this. I mean, it is June 21st, so maybe we'll be okay.
The thing about humidity
Yeah.
is the fact that it feels like I can never ever cool off, and I don't like. Here's the thing about being cold. I know how to warm up. I can warm myself up, put on another jacket. Maybe I'll wear thermals. Like, I can always get warmer. You can't when it's hot and muggy like that. You can't fight it.
Yeah, you can. There's called
How?
air conditioning.
Yeah,
You
but
just
no,
go
but
into your house.
yeah, but so then you're house trapped in the perfect, beautiful time. Like, it doesn't.
No. Here's how I do it. You go out. You got to go slow though,
Right.
right? Humidity slows Toronto down for the first time all year. And you'll notice that people are just lying around in the shade.
Are you sure Toronto wasn't slowed down by the sheer number of cars and people?
Oh, well, yeah. Traffic is insane. And then you ride your bike down to the pool. And then you get in the pool or you get in the lake. And then you go get an ice cream. And then you go home. And then you're hot again. And then you go inside. And then it's cool. It's a
See,
beautiful thing. I love it. Or you go
like,
to the art gallery or the other 10 art galleries or a bar or one of the 1 billion restaurants. I mean, it's just terrific. And what do we have to thank for all that air conditioning? Nuclear power.
the AC is powered by nuclear energy.
Yeah, Ontario is.
Yeah.
Nuclear and hydro.
They're building some more. They're building some more smaller reactors.
You know what? I screwed up. I don't think it was Jensen.
Jensen, what?
I think it was Laurent
What are you,
Mekies,
what are you talking about?
the Racing Bulls principal. He said Hajar is always ready to jump in. Driver is always ready to jump into a faster car.
Right, and Isaac was saying,
Isaac
"I'm
was like,
not."
"No, I'm not ready." Yeah.
He's
Can you
not.
imagine if Yuki goes and they put Liam back in there? They would never do that, would they?
Um, I mean,
That
this
would
is
just be so embarrassing for them.
well. I mean,
Make up your mind. Jesus.
what's going on at Red Bull is fascinating because it feels like could you like this just blow everyone's mind if he did leave. Max did leave and went to Aston Martin. Now they who's going in that car? And it would be so cool to see another like good driver go in and be terrible. And then it turns out that Max is the driver of all drivers and he's the only reason why that car was good, or that the car was, designed around him perfectly. But they can't afford that. They have to keep Max, and Max isn't going anywhere. And the whole Toto Wolff not signing Russell is all a game for sure. That's done, sealed, signed. They're just trying to unstable Red Bull. It all makes sense. It's like,
I mean, I think so. I
why
think
else?
that's it. Well, I just think if they're keeping Red Bull, if they're mind fucking Red Bull, why are they doing it? Why are they doing it?
Well, the
Is it
timing
to
is good.
force Max out? Is it to make it so untenable at Red Bull that Max leaves and goes to a team that's in development like Aston Martin?
It's a great
And thereby
theory, JB. Great theory.
ensuring Mercedes' ascension. I mean, they see a weakness in Christian Horner, I think,
Mhm.
uh, because of the January court date, because of the second seat turnover, because of that second car never working, and Horner not having to cater to Max and Max's entourage.
Mhm.
So
I think it's a great theory, JB. I think
I
you're right.
don't know.
But I also think it's
Plus
happening.
the plus the rule changes.
Well,
Those
that's what I was about to say. The
oh
regulation changes are also a big factor.
yeah.
Um, so,
And Mercedes has said they're ready for them.
see, if I was Max, I wouldn't make a move until I saw what everyone else was doing in 2026. See, that's why I don't think he's going anywhere. Max is too smart. Max would be like, I might as well just stay here one more year.
Yeah.
Anyone's going to hire me.
Hmm. Well,
You
I
know,
don't think that's true. I don't think anyone will hire him. I
well,
don't
why
think
not?
Mercedes would hire him.
You don't think so?
No. I don't think Mercedes would hire him, and I don't think Ferrari would hire him. I don't think there's a lot of places for Max to go because of the way he has to be the top dog. He's not a team player.
But
And
certain,
there's teams that are structured where it's can you imagine Max at McLaren? He's not going to play by any rules.
I mean, that's true. Yeah, that's a good point. He's not. He's not. If it seems like Zach Brown and Max Verstappen don't seem like a thing that would work out. Even Andrea Stella, he might be like a mix. You know, you need to be nice to the second driver. We want people happy. Sit down together and make sure we do good things.
Just listening to, well, first of all, your accent is impeccable. Just listening to Max's radio chatter, can you imagine anybody at McLaren putting up with that?
Yeah, exactly. Like, what is the name of Max's engineer, radio engineer? What is it?
Oh.
I should know it. I've heard it so many times. I feel he just seems like he must just be counting the days until he doesn't have to listen to Max.
The whining.
He must be. He must. I bet you he drinks a lot and goes to some sort of psychologist. It's Lambese. Now, what is his name? And I need to get it.
You know what? Here's another reason why it's all bullshit. The Toto Red Bull George thing is Toto and George both absolved Max of any wrongdoing in both Montreal and Barcelona.
I know. That's how they're. Gianpero Lambiese.
Lambiese. So they're up to
But he's English.
something.
Yeah.
They're up to something. And did you listen to the Laws podcast that I sent you?
Mm-hmm.
That was 3 days ago.
Yeah.
Well, he's been listening to our podcast because we
What?
said this stuff 3 days before he posted it.
Come on. He's not listening. You'd be able to see if he was listening, wouldn't you?
Seriously.
You think
I called it 3 days before before Ladderman did. Anyways, whatever.
He might be. You know what? We'll end up working together with him. What's his name? Laws? Ladderman?
Laws or Ladderman.
Ladderman.
He's a fun guy.
Ladderman. When you want to research a topic to death, listen to Ladderman.
Yeah, how does he do it, man? It takes two of us to post once a week, and I've got half a page of notes, and he does 20 minutes
At least
every single day
on one topic. It's impressive.
Yeah.
Well,
young people.
We should. Yeah. I mean, I don't know how young he is, though. But the other day we were doing a show. We brought up a mother-daughter, and I was like, I couldn't. This is my daughter. I'm like, I couldn't understand because the mother looked like young, and
Yeah.
then I'm like, okay, so the daughter's got to be. The daughter was 21. She looked like she was 12. Like the age, nothing makes sense anymore, age wise.
No, we've got to an age where we're so older that
Well, oh,
everybody seems that there's 30 years of adults behind us. So we're looking at someone who's an adult, but they're old enough to we're old enough to be their parent, and it doesn't make any sense.
I was gonna say, yeah, it's probably that, but I was actually gonna say, like, it feels like what's like, and this, I feel like this is probably maybe the same, but it feels more so now because of social media. I feel like the everyone is kind of maybe like dresses the same, kind of acts the same. Like, can you imagine your dad on Instagram making a video talking about, I don't know, maybe he likes gardening. I don't know if your dad likes gardening, but your dad has a fig tree in his backyard talking about this fig tree that's growing. No, it would never happen. But now you see people that are dads that are on there doing dumb dances on TikTok. So we're all like the same age.
Yeah. Yeah, my dad did have a fig tree, and then he put a net around it because the birds were stealing all the figs. And then that didn't work. So he cut the fig tree down. He
What?
said, if I can't have the figs, neither can the birds. And he cut the thing down. And it was amazing. It produced so many figs. Figs
I
are my
remember.
favorite fruit. You remember the fig tree?
Yeah, I remember eating a lot
Oh,
of figs
yeah. Yeah, he cut it down. He didn't want to share.
with the birds. The birds,
This is what I come from.
they're just trying to survive, and they're like, "Look at this glorious." Imagine when the birds came back the next day and there was no tree. The poor birds.
He also has a cattle gauge electric fence around his fish pond.
Just to keep the raccoons away. The
Yeah,
coyotes, the
yeah, raccoons, but it also takes out toddlers. It's killed some herons, which is not necessary. I mean, that's a majestic bird. Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of bycatch in the backyard at my parents' house. More
Nico,
predictions. More
are we
predictions.
into the prediction phase? Go
First,
ahead.
no, no, we don't have to be.
No, no, I love it.
I
I got
wanted
lots
to
to say.
talk about a prediction that I was wrong about. Max was not friendlier in interviews in Montreal as I had guessed.
No, you were incorrect. Um, uh, the
I
only
thought
time
he
Max
would
is
have learned that, oh, this is how I ingratiate now.
no,
Go
he will
through the
never change for
motions.
anyone. If he changes, he'll see that as a sign of weakness. Whereas some people would see change and growth as a sign of maturity and
Yeah,
creates
well
potential.
said.
You know, well, I wasn't surprised by that at all. His strategy is to be happy when he wins and gets his way, and to be annoyed and short-worded and unkind when he doesn't. That's his.
But still complain when you're ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love the camaraderie between Russell and Kimmy.
yeah.
I love that, and I think it's like it's really interesting because if let's say 2026, and this is quite possible because they're saying the Mercedes engine is the engine again, that if they get that right and they get the rest of the car correct, he's now got Kimmy like in a position with him to be like if they're not like neck and neck fighting all the time to help him, like to genuinely help him because he's being genuinely positive and supportive
Yeah,
of the second driver. And I on that note, I think Lando was masterful in instantly taking ownership on his mistake because
I
he
disagree.
completely well, I agree because with my own statement, and that's why I'm sharing it because I agree with myself.
Yeah,
And when I agree with myself, I stand true to my self agreeing.
that's the kind of loyalty that you can expect from you.
And because I think I mean, it's obvious it was his mistake. So there's no point in not just being, all right, it diffused everything.
I'll
It's
tell you.
kept
I'll
everything
tell you.
calm.
There is one point though.
What's your point?
I'm not saying wait for a replay. I'm just saying don't rush to shit talk yourself.
Well, I
He
think
could
you're
have just apologized without all the I screwed up. I made a mistake. It was my mistake.
I'm an idiot. Yeah, I mean,
I'm an
he could
idiot.
lose that. He could
Yeah.
lose that. I guess you're right. You know what? I should do that too because I say I'm an idiot a lot.
Yeah.
Like I was trying to log in the other day.
You and passwords, eh?
Well, have you heard about the great hack? You got to change your passwords.
The great hack?
Yeah, it's like change your. It was all over social media, Apple, Gmail, social media. Change everything. We need to change our passwords.
Oh. All mine are generated by Apple. Does that make you suspicious? You know? Can I generate an impossible password for you to remember? Sure, go ahead. It's automatically saved in your passwords app. Terrific, which is why I don't know why you have such trouble. Don't you
Because I
just
don't use
use
that.
Why not?
I don't trust it.
So you have all of our passwords in a Word doc instead? A Pages
Yeah,
doc?
yeah. I have some sheets of paper. I have a sticky on the office wall.
We spend 15 minutes every day trying to log into Opus
Yeah,
Clips.
yeah. It's called. Let's just keep it real.
You know, it may be your genius. If you can't get in, no one can. You're like my dad in the fig tree.
I would not take away a food source from a creature. In
No, of
fact, I'm going
course
to
not.
make a note in my building, and I'm gonna check with the landlord if I'm allowed because all these pop cans that get recycled sometimes or someone else comes by and picks them up. I want to keep them and collect them and then take them to the and donate them and collect the money and give it to the SPCA.
Why?
Because I signed up for these BCSBA updates and people who dogs, cats, things that need help. We found a cat survived 7 weeks by itself, and it was 8 weeks old. It's unbelievable. It needs a new sternum, and then I donate $10.
So you're going to take what paltry living the unhoused in your neighborhood are making from your beer habit,
Yeah,
and you're going to give it to the SPCA.
yeah. I don't. Is that better or worse? I don't know.
I think it's a lateral move.
Okay, lateral.
Yeah, I think
Okay, good.
stealing from Peter to pay Paul. Pay Paul.
That's what we need.
It's a new app. Enough with this friendly payment service. Pay Paul. It's a guy.
Austrian Grand Prix 2024. Max was on pole. I bet you he's on pole again this year. Last year, George Russell won the race with a little bit of luck because Max Verstappen decided to drive and act like a maniac on Lando. And they took each other out. And then Piastri came second, and Carlos Sainz came in third.
What are his feelings going to be like, hey, in Austria?
Who's
Carlos, is he going to be wistful? Like, oh, I podiumed here.
Oh,
I
I see.
podiumed here with Ferrari, and now
He's not making the podium. I'll tell you that. I think we're in for a barnstormer of a race.
yeah.
Like
How
I think
come?
it's going to get. I feel like we're in the summer. Teams have gotten their cars. I think we're going to see. Who knows? I feel like Mercedes, Ferrari, and obviously McLaren and Red Bull, just the one Red Bull driver of Max, are going to be in contention a whole weekend. I think it's
Mhm.
going to be thrilling. There's lots of places to pass, and if I was to predict a winner, my heart would say for someone who needs it would be Lando, but I don't think it's going to be Lando. I have a feeling it's going to be Max.
Well, it's about time, isn't it? It's about time he wins a race. I
Well, he
mean,
hasn't won one in the last few. That's correct.
yeah. So statistically, historically, putting your money on Max wouldn't be a bad bet. Are you going to place a wager this time?
No,
No.
no, no,
Did you learn your lesson?
no.
No.
I'll wager again.
Yeah.
Now, let me tell you about this track, JB, because you probably
Please.
know nothing about it. It's
Thank you for your continued condescension.
it's a relatively simple track, but it offers two sensational places to pass. even a third one if you're bold and mighty. It's a short track, so it's lots of laps, which means again, it's a real race course. Elevation changes, high speed corners with hairpins, and it's it's not Azerbaijan filled with right angles.
So you love this stuff.
Yeah, it's an amazing track. It's like it's one of the best tracks actually, and it's the Red Bull Ring. So it feels like
Sorry.
Red Bull's going to win that race because Max has won it lots. I think he's going to win it. I don't want Max to win, but he's going to
Yeah.
win it.
Yeah.
He's going to win it, and there'll be controversy at this race too. There's going to be contact with some drivers.
The Red Bull Ring, located in Spielberg, Austria, was originally designed by Erich Ledwinka and opened in 1969 as the Österreich-Ring.
Now you
In the-
got 69. Mine says first held race was 63.
oh,
Controversy.
well, this is GPT, so it could be wrong. In the mid-90s, Hermann Tilke redesigned the track, shortening it and renaming it the A1 Ring, which hosted Formula One races from 97 to 2003. After a period of inactivity, Red Bull's Dietrich Mateschitz,
Billionaire.
purged and dead.
Yeah.
Right?
Hey, his money didn't help him.
And it didn't even help him. Purchased and renovated the circuit, reopening it in 2011 as the Red Bull Ring.
It's a beautiful circuit. It's in the mountains. That would be a good track to go to.
I'd love to go to Austria. I really enjoyed it when I was there. I only went
What
to
did you like
Vienna.
about it?
Well, I remember, first of all, the hostel was a pain in the ass. And I remember escaping that because the guy who ran it was like a jailer. And there's so many rules. And then I remember getting out of busting out. And
What do
my
you mean? You had to bust out? Like what? He
first
had you
morning,
chained?
yeah, he was Austrian, you know?
What does that mean?
They really like their rules. I don't
Is
know.
that true?
Probably.
Well, let's
Anyways,
find
I
out.
remember.
I'm gonna Google search that. Do Austrians like rules? Let's see what comes up.
Anyways, that's not the point. The point is that I went to a cafe. So you're not even listening.
I am. I'm just getting the answer to that.
I don't think it's a question. I don't think it's answerable.
Well, I just got an answer.
What did it say?
Punctuality is highly valued in Austria. Being on time for meetings and appointments and services and parties is expected.
Okay.
Sounds like they like rules.
So I went to this cafe, and all the waiters were dressed like penguins, in the black vest with the white dress shirt and the bow
Yeah.
tie and the long white apron. I love that. And I sat outside. I was just a 26-year-old,
I'm jealous.
hairball.
I'm jealous.
And I ordered a coffee, an espresso.
Mhm.
Was it an espresso? It was Viennese for sure. And then I ordered a pack of cigarettes. And then I went and got. They were hanging off the building near your table. Newspapers on bamboo spines. You know
But
those
they don't
old
have
timey.
but they don't have bamboo in Austria. That makes no sense.
They do. I know. I mean, this place is. It blows you away. And the whole time, the waiter was surly. Didn't give a shit about me, and showed me that. And that was the first time I fell in love with surly service. I like it rough. Ever since then, I've liked it rough.
Well, I mean, I'm envious of you. I never got to do a European early 20s excursion in my life, and I should have, and it's a big regret. I guess that's why I'm yearning to move to Europe within the next
Yeah.
10 years.
Yeah.
Let me tell you some things about Austria, okay? They eat meat with lingonberry jam, okay? Which,
Seriously? Because
yeah,
that's Swedish, isn't it?
they like it with steaks and gamey meat.
Because you can get it at IKEA.
Yeah, and here's the number one reason why I think that you like Austria, because eating dessert for lunch is totally acceptable.
Oh, I've been off the dessert.
Yeah, and here's another reason why you won't like Austria. They don't take cabs.
Cats?
Yeah, they don't take cabs. If you take a cab in
Oh,
Austria,
cabs.
it means you're either very old, you're not able to walk anymore, or really rich and can't be bothered.
Well, that's fine. I don't take cabs.
They're walkers. Oh, okay, good. They love to walk.
And what about riding bikes? I prefer to ride a bike. Can I do that there?
Yeah,
Do they have bike
they're
lanes?
bike riders. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love it.
And apparently they have weird toilets, which I'm not gonna get into.
Well, if it has that Eastern Euro shelf so you can examine your
That's ex
turds,
that's exactly it.
I'm not into it.
Does
Not
it
at
come with a
all.
little stick to poke it and break it apart to make sure you're healthy?
Jesus Christ. Like, I remember the first time I saw that, I was like, who designed these?
Mhm.
They make this is the opposite of I want to flush my shame, not stick my face in there and
So how much water is required to, remove the excrement?
you know what? They even have those toilets in London. And a couple years ago, I was there and staying in a hotel, and there was no way to get the skid marks off. There was no brush. I had to go and get my own brush from a hardware store, which isn't a store, it was a closet because everything's so tiny over there. I brought my own brush into the hotel room
To clean the toilet.
because I couldn't just leave it like that. It was fucking disgusting.
I know. Why don't they play music in public washrooms? It's an easy
Seriously.
fix. It's an
I
easy
know.
fix. Just put a speaker
And
in. I
I
don't need to
called it
hear everything.
it's a new business idea because I heard about this in Singapore. The Singapore airport for years has had right in a bar, right where the toilet paper is. So you sit down on the toilet and you turn to your right, and you can choose the white noise you want. You want forest, you want um,
Unbelievable.
wind, you want water. Yeah. And so I thought, how do you retroactively fit your public washroom with this kind of action?
Mhm.
And I call it can music. And it's a
Maybe.
speaker with a hard drive in it.
Yeah.
And it's you just plug it in, or it's
Mhm.
battery powered. You can put it,
Right,
you can
yeah.
hide it
Well, I've just
anywhere.
started bringing my own little portable speaker, and I just put on music now when I take a dump,
That's good. That's a great idea.
you
Do
know,
you
but
need a
the
whole speaker? Do you just hold your phone up to your?
well, I like to have a bit of bass,
Mm, yeah, good call.
helps the movement.
Yeah, I like I like a loud wind.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Just
See,
block it all out, please.
I think like what would be a great initiative would be that all public restrooms and private restrooms, it's mandatory that there's speakers. Like so it needs to be regulated. It's a law. It's
Yeah.
passed. And then if it's a public washroom, you only play music that's from your country. That's not you're not playing Taylor Swift when you're in Austria. No, 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 no.
Oh, I see.
Who's the famous, composer from Austria? There's got to be one.
For sure.
Might be 2.
Oh, you know what else I saw in Austria when I was there was the Museum of Fucked Up Shit and Formaldehyde, I think it was called.
That's what the museum's called?
Yeah. And they had jars from like the 19th century filled with like, Siamese twin fetuses
Oh my god.
and body parts and heads and I wasn't allowed to take photos, but I took a lot of them, and of course they're on some hard drive that doesn't work anymore. And then I found another one of those in London last year, the Hunter Museum. You can go and see some crazy shit, like quintuplets, all fetuses, all in formaldehyde in one big jar.
This is somehow making me think of the last white rhino that passed away, in Africa.
Yeah,
You heard about this?
wasn't that a couple years ago?
No, it came up on my David Attenborough feed,
Oh,
and
well, you
and
sort of
then
asked for it then, didn't you?
yeah, but it just made me go, "What? Like, how can we like, it was a white rhino, it's quite beautiful, it was quite sad, the ranger was there with the, kinda holding it or, like, stroking it or whatever, and you're like, "We can't figure this out? We can't manage this?" Like if AI is so great, can't AI go, "Here's how we stop endangering species, do this."
Yeah, unfortunately, if it doesn't make money sense, then people aren't gonna. I
So it's
think they
time to
need.
regulate capitalism, you have to regulate it, that's what you have to
Oh,
do.
you got to regulate capitalism.
Yeah, because if you make it illegal for corporations to create a product or have, actions that cause harm on society, then you make that a rule, and then you define what that means, and you apply it, and you go after these Jeff Bezos, the Musks of the world that have.
Who's gonna win what fantasy world?
I don't
This
know.
is like
There needs to be a world order. There needs to be some
this is like
team of
saying
people.
you're allowed to have a gun, but they're all going to be made of cookie dough.
Now that is a good idea.
I need to get some water. Be right back.
You don't. Now you're leaving me alone in a podcast. You don't know what's going to happen, JB. I can say anything right now. I can say anything I want, and he can't stop me. Well, I might as well talk about the Austrian Grand Prix because that's why we're here. Here's my prediction. I don't like it because I don't want it to be this. Max Verstappen will win the race. I think that Oscar Piastri will finish third. And I think, get ready, second place will be George Russell. And I think George Russell and Max Verstappen might have some fun, dicey moments. Now, where's Lando going to be? Lando's going to be fourth. That's my prediction. He's going to just have a safe, calm race and stay cool.
I agree.
It's a long season, Formula One, and a lot can change. And, I think George Russell is still in contention. All it takes is a Mercedes engines to blow a couple times, and now Oscar doesn't finish a couple races. All it takes is, it feels like they may have turned the corner, Mercedes, on the hot temperature and their tire degradation. So that's why I'm hoping Austria is a hot race, and we see if that's true. Because then if we see if that's true, then we got I think we have an exciting season because George is racing really well.
Is Max going to get banned?
No, he'd have to do something crazy to get some because his points reset. Like something like his point 3 or 4 points disappeared, so he's got like another 5 point. He's got more room to do something controversial.
Oh, I thought they reset later in June, and Austria was still in play.
Oh, maybe you're right. I'd love it if he got banned. God, it'd be so exciting.
It would be, but I don't
Because
think
who would go in that car?
So few racers have got banned, and they have such a hard time punishing Max in a way commensurate with the crime that it would be surprising to me.
Yeah, you're right. There feels like there's an element of people are afraid of him for some reason. I don't get it. We talked about Nico Rosberg quickly, and because you're a psychologist, I thought you'd appreciate this. Nico brought up, Nico actually reached out to Lando last year saying, "Hey, did you want to connect? I've been in your shoes before." I guess Nico sees some similarities in their driving in their personalities, because it sounds like Nico was a person that was very self-critical and had some bad self-talk. And he got a sports psychologist, and he said it was like every 2 or 3 days he would do a 2-hour sports psychologist session, which he found more exhausting than the actual physical training.
That's funny.
And I'm like, oh my God, it made me think like maybe I should go to a psychologist on how to be better at business.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Like it must anyway. So he reached out to Lando. I guess hasn't responded, but I wonder if Lando might reach out to Nico now, because his engineers were kind of giving him some coaching during qualifying and stuff like that. And Nico was basically saying, when you're fighting for a championship and there's an expectation on you to do well, race in, race out, each qualifying, everything, the pressure is totally different than being just trying to get into the points or get a podium. Totally different.
I know, totally.
So here's my wish, my hopings. I hope that Lando reaches out to Nico and they do some talking, and it would be so cool to see Nico help a driver manage that, because clearly Mark Webber is helping Oscar.
Oh yeah, for sure.
There's no doubt about it.
And I'm sure that Lando does get coaching. I think he's been getting coaching, some psychological talk therapy from the beginning.
Well, then he needs to fire that person.
Because a team like that with all the resources wouldn't just not. They'd see him as a prime candidate for it. So it is surprising that he's still, I mean, we all arrive at enlightenment in our own time. As far as you and going to get some coaching, I think that's a really good idea. And these days, there's plenty of trained
Can you do it?
mental health professionals
But
who
you'd be free.
also no who also can coach you like for business stuff. So you get the whole ball of wax. What level are you in your insurance?
Gold.
Milky, get after it. You got,
I've never gone to a psychologist before.
dude, you've got like $1,000 that you can use a year or whatever it is.
80. It's 80% of the coverage.
Yeah, but it doesn't go up. It doesn't go forever. It goes up to $1,000.
So are there
Goes up to
are there like when you go to a psychologist, are are there sessions I could pick, like make me better? Is there like make me better session, um uh make me persevere
just
session?
do a chat search where you're looking for a psychologist that specializes in coaching.
Isn't that just my AI that I pay $20 a month for now?
You use an AI shrink?
Why not? I haven't done it
Oh,
yet. I mean,
I'm
like,
sorry.
why don't I type
Oh,
in and be like, hey, AI, you know everything that every psychologist ever knows. Tell me how to be better."
I think because what you want is person to person guidance. And if 80% of every session is covered by insurance, an insurance plan that you're already paying into, you might as well you get some of it back. Whereas I don't think you can submit a receipt from an AI therapist in the same
Sounds
way.
like you're coaching me for free right now.
And I'm not a
Nico.
psychologist.
Oh, what are you?
I'm a student
Okay, good.
studying
That's what I
psychotherapy.
want. I want a nouveau approach to psychology. Coming in avant-garde, giving coach. Now, let's talk about two mighty forces that had great races in Canada, and I think they are both going to have good races in Austria. Nico Hulkenberg, 2 races in a row, finishes in the points. This is what I think is really telling about Formula One is that he's never had a podium. So
That's crazy, right?
everybody who is an F1 fan should be sending him vibes to get a podium because he's such a good driver. He's a consistent driver. He's always been in average machinery. He's never been in a car that's like great or even, there might have been a couple years where it was like, oh, this could be a podium car, but most of the time not. He delivers two in the points finishes. I think he's going to do it in Austria.
Great.
Now, what
I
about
hope so.
Alonso? You give him a car that's good. Remember how crappy the car was for
Yeah.
Aston Martin?
Yeah, he's doing great.
As soon as the car's reasonable, he's there.
Yeah.
So, like, can he be like? I don't want it to be Aston Martin because I don't want Adrian Newey to go there and make the car good. Like,
Why
I'm
not?
cheering against Adrian Newey
Why not?
because I'm tired of him.
Yeah.
Get rid of Adrian Newey. Go. He's been around long enough. He's the most successful person in F1 in general. And if you just look at the grand scheme, just stop it.
The things you say.
Just move on. He's 67 or something. Get out of here.
I want to see Hulkenberg in a Red Bull car. That's what I want. Alonso, I am less confident in consistency because I think he's willing that car into points.
Right.
I think he's putting everything on the line. The way the now I just stepped outside my area of expertise. The way he takes corners, the way he brakes, he's pushing that car around the track like his life depended on it. Is that true?
I think I think that's true, but I think that's how Alonso drives in a car that's
Okay.
not good
Okay,
enough. Now, if he's
maybe.
in a good car, he's going to manage that aggression. Pardon
Right.
me, manage that. I just burped.
Yeah. And so I think Hulkenberg has got that Piastri vibe. Alonso, I think he's like Hamilton. There's still some gas in the tank, but man, there's a lot of hope there that people remember them at their greatest and they want more of that because everybody loves a happy ending.
Well, here's what I think. And again, I have always thought this, and it's in line with almost everybody. But I think people don't recognize the value of it. I think that yes, a older driver will lose a little. They'll lose some speed over time, like a bit of reaction and whatever. But with they just garner so much experience that it makes them still be an incredibly good. Like there's no reason why a 42-year-old Alonso, if that's his age, I think he could win a championship if he was in the right car. Like there's no doubt. He's got so much experience. He might not be as fast and raw as, let's say, Kimi or maybe Max or whatever in terms of like outright pace, but the experience of handling a race and a season to win a championship is there. So that to me negates that. So I think Hamilton in the right car suited for him, he can totally beat Charles Leclerc. Same with Max. I think he totally can.
I think you'll see Lewis relax into that Ferrari situation as we head towards the summer break.
Yeah.
I think he's gone through the 7 stages of grief and now he's edging towards acceptance. And that's when the real work will begin. And he'll be less angry and he had a pretty good race in Montreal. And
He did. And he killed an animal and felt terrible about it.
I think he's just going to grow from there. I don't know about Charles. I don't think he's happy at all. And him and his hair. There are some drivers that have this, my hair is going to be messy. Now I get it if you're Gasly because you've had a hair transplant.
Did he?
So, yeah. So
What?
you have to have a tousled look. Charles and who else? Lance doesn't have a great haircut, and I love Hulkenberg. He looks so cool. His hair looks perfect all the time. I don't know how he does it. Anyways, what were we talking about?
We were talking about Hulkenberg and Alonso and senior drivers. We shouldn't call them senior drivers. Oh, that's pretty funny though.
How old is the Hulk?
I'm not. I'll find out, but I think he's like 40.
No.
Yeah,
Is he
or
that
like
old?
or 39 or something. Hulkenberg,
Jesus.
age. I love him. I would love. He's 37.
He's 37.
I want to hang out.
He's hard not to love. Yeah, and he's got a cool bar in Sweden.
I love this. You type in, it comes up as soon as I put H has Pierre Gasly had a H hair? It comes up. It shows up in the feed.
Yeah,
he has not publicly confirmed or denied having a hair transplant in the unraveling Pierre Gasly hair transplant journey.
Same with Lewis.
Well, Lewis is going to go bald. I mean, have you seen
Lewis
his dad?
had hair transplants.
Well, that's a lot of hair.
No, he had some up front.
Oh, here.
Yeah, they plugged it in, and then, anyways, I agree. I'd do that too. This forehead is expanding at an alarming rate.
I think you should shave your head and get back in acting. You might book more.
I've never left acting. I just stopped auditioning. Okay, so we should wrap it up. It's almost an hour.
Yeah. We should always aim to be an hour. And
so
and
goodbye.
I think good. No, well, hang on. Let's
have.
I want some hopings from you. I want hopings for the next race. I'll do some hopings, and then I want a full no mince out of you. Just improvise your way out of this paper bag.
And my hopings are that Mercedes podiums again.
Okay.
And I love it when when Max is out of the running.
Okay.
Because then you don't have to look at his sour puss in the post show. I'm also hoping that on F1 TV that Alex Jakes takes it down 1,000 on the wry smile. He's quickly turning into the Alan Partridge of sports commentary. I just can't stand how Incredible. His tone is all the time. What a great time they're having. I mean, it's like listening to Smartless. You're just on the outside wishing you could be them having such a good. That's the kind of vibe I get. Also, if they could stop dressing like supply teachers and try and measure up to the Pinkhams, to the Naomi Schwintz, to the Lauras, to the
Yeah.
Ruths. God, the ladies look so good. And I know, your worth is not predicated on your appearance, but I still got to look at you. Okay,
The
Ted. So put on a fucking collared T-shirt for God's sake.
I gotta say, JB,
Collared shirt, not a T-shirt.
what a lovely list of hopings out of the blue
And a no mince.
and annulments all at the same time. Like your craft of using the English language is impressive.
Well, it was a struggle. It's a struggle at times.
Here are my
Go
hopings.
ahead.
My hopings are I want there and I demand from the F1 gods that the Austrian Grand Prix is filled with passing and not from top to bottom. That's what I'm hoping for. A every whether it's the midfield or whether it's the top 3 or top 4, that there's no DRS train, which is likely to happen. That can happen, which then negates the passing. My hope is that is not the case. That the drivers are able to handle that and create opportunities. That's my big hoping. My other hoping is that I don't, when I say this, I don't want controversy. Like there's like really bad, behavior by drivers, but I do want there to be some contact. I do want there to be some aggressive pass. I like that. That's exciting, and I want it to involve Piastri, because he's so cool and level-headed. I want him to get into a serious tangle with someone that's not Norris, and I want to see how that unfolds. My mince, my no mince, is if there is a controversial moment, those FIA stewards better not be wimps about it. They better actually penalize, and they better do it quick. And if they're going to hand out points, don't be shy about it. Because I think this is the type of track where, just like last year, when what Lando and what happened with Lando and Norris, there was a moment after Norris was hit by Verstappen that Verstappen chose to aggressively again drive towards him, which should have been penalty points. So FIA stewards, if there's anything that's controversial and is warranted for point denomination, that's a word, denomination.
Yep.
Do it.
Okay, buddy. Great talking to you. There's your wiggly button. You're coming apart at the seams.
I'm going to go work out now, JB.
Attaboy. I already did that, but I'm going to have to go back to school, I think. Or maybe I'll go for a bike ride.
Okay, well, enjoy your nature tomorrow. I'll try and get some nature tomorrow.
Yeah.
And it was always lovely to see you. And
lovely to see you, too. Let's do this again before the Red Bull Ring. 27th of
next weekend.
June.
That might
Next
be a harder
weekend.
weekend for me, but we'll talk about that because I have to go up and do a show up in the boonies.
Oh, do you? Okay.
So we might need to do a Saturday morning, and then the post will have to be later in the week.
Okay, cool.